there's this thing of like shooting the most ridiculous, craziest moments. For example, even when like the George Floyd situation was, many tragedies when they're happening, people don't put out the fire when someone is on fire. They'll take out their phone and take a video of the person on fire, because now it's more about the content of it. Well, that's my perspective, but the question is actually, what do you think about where we've gone as a society in terms of the importance of content, especially in those kind of situations where it's like an emergency situation and people are bringing out their phones?
But I think like that in itself is the issue, right? Like we're now so out of touch with humanity and being human, right? Like, and being kind to one another. It's because I was the first person to post it on Twitter that I saw this, or even when there was a, you know, like bus accidents, the Rimbi buses and whatever else, right? Where we're just looking at, I think it was a Zupco bus, I think, or Zebra Kids, I can't remember. Yeah. And this woman was there, and she's like literally with her phone, is like, oh, Manayafa, oh, okay. And then she continues. But
also,
and so she can take a photo so she can post it, and then share it like, oh, there was a bus accident. I was the first one on the scene, and this is what happened. Instead of put your phone down, help someone, right? The bus is on fire. There's still people on the bus. Help those people. Are you okay? Call emergency. Do something.
Like you're saying, we become so selfish. I'm seeing a business opportunity everywhere I am. And jotted down my numbers, and but also you don't think about. Next of Kinemuni, you don't know whether they're driving, then you break the news
or they haven't even
you're causing another accident somewhere just because you were Urudama numbers. So like you rightfully say, we've lost touch with our humanness and because of these foreign values of the digital culture about trends, breaking the news and getting the numbers. So at
the risk of sounding insensitive,
I was about to go there, but I'm so glad you're the first.
The moment you say
whatever you say, your t-shirt coming soon. As you were, Dennis.
It's not even that hard to take. But here's the thing, going back to that Rimbi bus case that you're talking about, I do understand the woman who's like taking videos of dead people and not helping where you can. But I do think the video that was taken from inside the bus, for example, the one where you then saw the accident, that made that case a way more significant case than if that accident had just happened and you just saw anything. Because I don't remember what the death toll was, right? But I think it was maybe 4 or 5 people who died in that accident. And it's like, that in itself doesn't sound like the biggest tragedy in the world, because you hear of accidents where 20, 30 people die, and most times, you know, it just goes on. You don't even know what bus, what company it was. And I think that for awareness makes a difference. And just to go back to answer the original question, I also think we now live in a world where information is more readily available to everyone. From a political space, there used to be a time where Chamisa or ED could go to a random place in the country and tell them that we're going to build a spaceship over here. And it wouldn't matter because the people in that community don't know about what's going on, right? But now there's someone at that rally who's holding a phone. And that video that was taken in Berengwa is now being posted on social media. And people are like, what is this guy saying? What is he saying we're building spaghetti roads? You know what I mean? But what that forces the world to be... really and truly, what that's forcing us to be on that level is to be more responsible about what we say and more honest. And on a more personal level, it's forcing you to behave. You cannot just be getting drunk and be in ditches everywhere, because you know what?
You could end up on ZIMbarbieAN.
It could have been okay, but now we're going to see it on ZIMbarbieAN, and like, just be better.
But then also, well, first of all, if you want to see what Robert Chapman had to say about the same phrase that Dennis just said, go to Let Loose with Dennis, the first episode. It's going to be in the description below, because previously people were able to say things and it just goes irregardless on the internet. It swims in there somewhere. But then what I wanted to say to that point was actually that there is also an appetite right? So the same people that criticize, at the risk of sounding insensitive, the thing is, the same people that criticize that behavior are going in a rabbit hole looking for that content.
Yeah.
So like that content of, like, rightfully so, you shouldn't be taking a photo of someone who's passed away, or you shouldn't be taking, breaking the news of someone before.
Yeah.
But people need to also look in the mirror and see that they want that content. Why do they want that content?
Most comments and likes.
For example, like when Janimbi died.
Yeah.
That accident scene content was racking millions in views of people just wanting to see
what happened.
Like, oh, okay, in the comments, and you're like,
what?
Wait a minute. But like, and to me, that it seems a little disingenuous for us to say that, oh, this is bad, you shouldn't do it, but you feed into it because they're posting it for people who want the content.
That's why I go for some steps.
Yeah, no, that's also a very valid point, because like what controls content in real life is appetite for it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when you're people going on Twitter, they like the things that are doing numbers are the things that people who want to do are going to post.
Right.
So it's consumerism, right?
But then let's go back to.
So it's not business over society. That's where the problem is.
Yeah.
We now have a capitalist mindset. It's always the benefit that I can get out of this,
Right.
as opposed to, is it kind to the next person?
But haven't we always had somewhat that mindset? But
No,
it's only like now because of the internet
platforms.
or the platform.
I think I'm like, if you're gonna looking at my show, I'm very traditional and I love going back. I think the world is better going back than going forward. So as Africans, we are socialists, so to speak, governed by Ubuntu.
Right.
Right? But when we got this education that we now have, we became woke to all those possibilities that are giving us problems now.
Yeah.
So at the core, we are people who feel for one another. But now, because of the education, I'm now a capitalist. And that influence now is creating these things. I don't want to be the one to be breaking things. I want to be the one with the chain.
Yes and no. Because I wonder to myself, like, we weren't there prior to like colonialism, prior to like capitalism. All we know
But
is
your history
what
can
we
speak to you.
No.
But yes and no, because Chiarare Chachiri was still, bro. I believe that, like, Pakachile,
Yes, but it's just made worse by the internet.
Yeah.
because there was still someone saying, "Go on the boat, bro." Like,
Bro, what people like in real life is gossip.
Yeah.
So Kujara, it would be but now you can post on Twitter.
Yeah.
I can post a
unlock more
video
people.
of what
Have you ever
happened.
seen what happens if there's an accident or even just like a disagreement in town?
Yeah.
Right? Like man and man
hey,
No.
hey, it's my phone and then I gotta
But what I wanted to say, I think, is that I think as people, honestly, I think we were already there. We were always there. What the internet has provided is a space where we can do it and no one knows.